What's going on, you guys? Today I'm bringing you a bit of a different video. I'm going to be going through the WWE and ranking the best performers from each country. Now, take into account this is only from 2020, so the year they've had will play a part in the video. I wanted to bring you guys this video because I thought it was kind of cool, and let's get right into it. So starting off with Austria, I'm going to give that one to Walter. So currently Walter's the United Kingdom champion. And honestly, I don't really have much else to say. There weren't really many competitors for this in the first place. And yeah, Austria, excuse me, goes to Walter. For Canada, there were some honorable mentions like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but I am going to give it to Edge. Now, honestly, I don't even know if anyone's had a better year than Edge. He came back at the Royal Rumble, and that was one of the greatest moments in not only Royal Rumble history, but wrestling history. Like, I lost my mind myself, being a huge Edge fan that I am, and his feud with Randy Orton, the feud was pretty awesome, but I don't necessarily know if the match at WrestleMania delivered. We'll see how their match at Backlash does, but Randy Orton and Edge's feud has been great, and Edge's return was awesome, so Canada goes to Edge. For Scotland, I'm going to give it to Drew McIntyre, and obviously he's the WWE champion right now, and he won the Royal Rumble this year. He's had a pretty solid reign so far. He's just this certified badass that we all want. He's not this cookie cutter Seth Rollins type guy. He's this badass who just goes around, kicks people's head off, and is just a good wrestler. Pretty easy decision for Scotland. Moving on to the Netherlands, I'm going to give that one to Aleister Black, and obviously there wasn't much competition for this one, but pretty easy choice here as Aleister Black has been being featured on Raw a lot more, and his position is becoming more prominent, and people like not the hardcores are getting to know a lot more about Aleister Black and how great his abilities are, and hopefully this will end one day in a WWE title run or even a Universal title run should he get moved to SmackDown. Ireland, this one was also pretty easy. Honorable mention to Finn Balor, Sheamus, and I'm going to give one to Killian Dane as well. People know I'm a huge Killian Dane fan. Becky Lynch for this one. I mean, what do you really say? She's had an insane year dating back to last year's WrestleMania. Obviously, she had to relinquish the title because of her having a kid. But I'm going to give Ireland to Becky Lynch. Like, arguably, but the greatest Irish wrestler ever. And the amount of fans that she's built up and everything she's done is just immeasurable. Very easy choice on this one, Ireland to Becky Lynch. For Italy, I'm going to give it to Fabian Eichner. No real explanation here. He's basically the only choice. Germany goes to Alexander Wolf, his Imperium buddy. Now for Fabian Eichner, going back here, he won the tag team titles, NXT tag team titles recently. So he's got that going for him. Moving on to Australia, I'm going to give an honorable mention to Buddy Murphy because he's been featured very prominently on Raw with Seth Rollins, obviously, but I'm going to give Australia to Rhea Ripley. Now, dating back to last December, she beat Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship, and I think she had a pretty solid run. I don't think she should have lost to Charlotte at all at WrestleMania. That makes completely no sense to me why you have Charlotte beating someone who's actually from NXT younger and she needed. Like, could you imagine if Ripley beat Charlotte? How good it would have looked for Ripley. Moving on to New Zealand, I'm going to give that one to Travis Banks, and no real explanation here. There was no real other option. Switzerland goes to Cesaro, and I don't know where to start with Cesaro. Like, the guy's got so much talent. He's just not been used for whatever reason. Like, I could see places where you can pluck out a certain superstar and pop Cesaro in. Like Mahal, way back in 2016 or 17, that would have been at Backlash when he won the title. You put Cesaro in there and the guy's wrestling abilities are just bar none, and he can go. I don't know what more to say. It's frustrating to see how things have gone for him. Japan, I'm going to give that one to Asuka. Honorable mention to Io Shirai, Kushida, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Asuka's obviously the Raw Women's Champion right now. She's had a great year as well, winning the Money in the Bank. And she had a great Royal Rumble match as well with Becky Lynch. So Japan goes to Asuka. Mexico goes to Andrade. Now, Andrade had a very solid run with the United States title, I think. Well, not particularly solid, but it was decent at the very least. And Andrade is obviously the best Mexican wrestler out right now. I think he has surpassed Rey Mysterio. So I'm going to give this one to Andrade. I think he should be moved further. I see this guy as a Universal Champion. I don't know about WWE Champion, but his abilities are definitely very, very good. England, I'm going to give this one to Pete Dunne. Everyone knows how huge of a Pete Dunne fan I am, but I didn't really think there was anyone else from England that I could really give this one to. Obviously, he's stuck in England right now, so he's not featured on NXT very prominently. But for Pete Dunne, he had a decent year winning the tag titles with Matt Riddle at TakeOver Portland. So I'm going to give this one to Pete Dunne. Best British wrestler, in my opinion, in the WWE right now. I'd honestly give an honorable mention to... his name's escaping me right now. Tyler Bate. I don't know how I forgot that one, but Tyler Bate. Brazil, I'm going to give this to Arturo Ruas from NXT. And he was the only consideration, but Cesar Bononi from NXT was also one. So I don't really know where to go from here. Wales, I'm going to give it to Tegan Knox. Honorable mention goes to Flash Morgan Webster, but I'm going to give it to Knox because I think she's had a better year to say. She's featured a lot more and more people know about her, so I'm going to give it to Tegan Knox. Russia, I'm going to give it to Ilya Dragunov. This guy's got a lot of talent. In the future, you guys definitely need to watch out for this guy. He had a match with Cesaro, I believe, at one of their takeovers, one of the UK takeovers. Definitely worth a watch. He had a match against Finn Balor as well at Worlds Collide in January this year. You guys definitely need to check that one out. Ilya Dragunov's a name you guys are going to want to watch out for. China, I'm going to give it to Xia Li. Literally no other consideration for this one. I couldn't find anyone else while looking for this. Moving on to Israel, I'm going to give that one to Noam Dar. While making this video, I found out that he was actually born in Israel, and we're giving these out based on where they were born and not where they're billed from. So Israel's going to go to Noam Dar. Obviously, he's known as the Scottish Supernova, but Israel goes to Noam Dar. And finally, the United States. This one was very, very tough as like a large population from the WWE roster is from the United States. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Seth Rollins and Adam Cole, but I think the best wrestler from the United States is Brock Lesnar. Now, hear me out on this one. When Brock Lesnar is motivated, arguably, there's no one better than the guy. The guy can put on phenomenal matches. And this year, he put over McIntyre like nuts. Like, if you watch the WrestleMania match, McIntyre is kicking out at F5s at 1. Obviously, that has to go through Brock Lesnar first. That guy, obviously, he's a draw as well. When that guy wants to go, I'd say arguably there's no one better. His matches with Seth Rollins, some of the ones with John Cena, the Triple Threat, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio as well. When this guy wants to go, he can go out there and he can tear the house down. Honestly, I think this year, obviously this list is based off this year, it's Brock Lesnar from the United States. His Royal Rumble was insane. He lasted till about 16 before he was kicked out by McIntyre, and then obviously he put McIntyre over at WrestleMania. But I think from the United States, it's based on this year alone, it's Brock Lesnar, and I can't really give this one to anyone else just based on what I said. When the guy wants to go, there's no one better than the guy, and it makes sense why he is what he is. And even for people who say he's a part-timer, I think I saw some ridiculous stat that he was like at almost 8 of 9 Raws or something like that. He's pretty consistent this year on WWE. So the United States, the big one in my opinion, goes to Brock Lesnar. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I haven't put out a video in a long while, but smash that like button. Maybe we'll do an edition of these where it's based on every state, or maybe in every province in Canada, or maybe we'll do an edition where we give one to a male, one to a female. Definitely smash the like button, and yeah, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.